Joe, this show meant so much to me. I think you did phenomenal work. The camera work in this show, the way you push into characters, it created such an incredible intensity. The little details of your character, him putting his shoes up on the couch, like every little thing about it made so much sense in terms of the character. I wanted to ask you this because I found this interesting. The kids you're teaching in the show are 10 years old, 10 to 11 years old. And it got me thinking, like when you were that age, you were shooting a movie with Robert Redford, River Runs Through It. And it's
Yeah,
unbelievable
that's true.
to think about that. And I'm wondering what your schooling was like in fifth grade. Were you still in physical school, or were you doing it all on set? Do you remember your teacher in fifth grade? What was that like for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when I was in fifth grade, I would go back and forth. When I was shooting, I would be doing school on set, and they have a teacher on set, and then that teacher on set communicates with your teachers at school to make sure that you can keep up with and you're sticking with the curriculum of your school. And my mom also played a big part in making sure that that was all facilitated and run smoothly because she really prioritized education, wanted to make sure that the work that I did wasn't going to get in the way of that. So I did have some great teachers, and I remember being 10, 11, 12, and I've always thought that teachers are some of the biggest heroes in the world. I wish that teachers were celebrated and valorized the way that entertainers were. You know, if I could wave a magic wand, that's the world we would be living in today. And so I felt inspired to play a teacher in Mr. Corman.
I couldn't agree with you more. One of the fascinating things about the show is it kind of gives you this idea. You don't really know who your teachers are outside of the classroom when you're younger. It's kind of crazy seeing that. Episode 2 struck me really hard. I've been on antidepressants all my life. That one character that you meet up to get the medication from, everything he listed, I've been on. Even when he says
Wow.
Lexapro made him gain weight, it made me gain weight. I
Oh,
remember
wow.
those.
Yeah, there you go.
I wanted to ask you about like playing a character who's dealing with anxiety. Is there a cathartic nature to dealing with your own anxieties through playing him? Like, do you find yourself working through some of your own things in terms of anxieties when you get to play a character like this?
100%. Yes. I have found that for me, the best way that I handle those kinds of demons is through art and creativity. If my brain is going around in circles and I'm trying to get it to stop, the best way for me is to sit down and write, because then I can see my thoughts, I can order them, I can try to make sense of them, turn it into a story. That story could, just be a journal entry that no one ever reads, or
Mm.
it could be Mr. Corman, which is what it is. That's where this show comes from.
I'm a big fan of little details, and I mentioned to you at the beginning of the interview that there's little things that speak to who the character is. Every time he would get home from work, he'd be wearing those black ADIDAS, and he'd pop them up on the couch. And there's an interesting element. It might be a minor detail, but it speaks so much to who he is. Like, do you think about like why he wears the black ADIDAS, why he puts them up on the couch like that? There's something interesting about that as an actor, I would imagine.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm glad you pick up on shoes. I think shoes are hugely important for
Yes.
for any performance. What shoes the character is wearing is a big deal. You know who else thinks that is Ryan Johnson. We've talked about this a great deal.
Yeah.
Um, but those black Adidas, that's what I wear. I've worn those Sambas, I don't know, since about 2010 or something
Yeah.
like that. And Josh Corman is a lot like me, and he's different than me in certain ways, certain important ways. But he walks like me, he talks like me, he likes much of the same things, and he wears the same exact shoes that I do.
That's awesome. Well, they're wrapping me. Congratulations. You should be very proud of the work you did here. As somebody who deals with mental health, you captured it amazingly, and the camera
That
work is
really
really.
means a lot to me, man. Thank you for telling me that. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe. Hope you're staying safe, man. Have a good day.
Kevin, great to see you as always.